What's up my loves, my name is Paige, this is Paige with the Page, and today we're going to be talking through my September TBR. September is so exciting because I have the 69-hour round of Not Safe for Workathon happening. I have Seasonathon, which I'm trying to make this all happen in with, and it's the first round of Seasonathon Academy. And I'm combining Cluedo with Wassup. Everything will be linked down below for what I'm doing. I will also be participating in the Make Me Read Readathon as I am a co-host, which is in the second half of the month, and that is doing polls to pick your reads. I struggled this month. I filmed my rolls back on like the 17th of August and it is now the 27th and I'm still sitting on the TBR. So I really didn't know what I felt like. I have a lot of different reads which I'm happy to do and they fit in with some prompts, but then I felt other things and it's just a bit of a conglomerate. So let's look over how I did in August and then we can look at what Cluedo, or in Ash's words, Cluedothon, has in store for me. Hello, so welcome to Cluedo. We need to go over the Pick-Pongathon chooses my Cluedo TBR for one last month to see what cards I can reveal, and we also need to pick out our big book, and then we'll get into this month's round. First thing was I needed to read a book with a weapon on the cover, and I went with A Dance of Dragons Part 2, and I have read this. Then for Pick-Pongathon, I got YA Fantasy. I then also got a swap. So this was originally Gates of Paradise, but I combined the two, and so I read City of Fallen Angels and have completed that. I'm not going to reveal this room as of yet because there is a little bit more that we have to talk about. And then for the dining room, I needed to read a band book and I read The Kite Runner by Khalid Hosseini. So that should get me these cards. However, during Pick-Pongathon, I got some extra mandatory reads. The first being Independent, which I chose The Flames of Albion for. And what I'm doing is, if I haven't read it, I can't reveal these cards. So I have read this one, so I can reveal the lounge cards. So we got the wrench and the ballroom. And then for my extra mandatories, I had to combine favorite genre with random number on my TBR, and the Dragon Republic came up, so I went with the first one that Poppy wore, and I have read this. So we get to reveal these. I thought it would be harder making sure that I had to have read everything before I could turn the cards over rather than just giving myself another random room. Have a look, we've got Miss Scarlet and Professor Plum. Ooh. Ash picked out his big book, which I've just left in there because he's at work, so let me pick out mine. Let's go this red one and let's see what they are. How the hell did I fold these? There we go. Oh dear God. Okay. Witches Steeped in Gold, which works well for something I might potentially be doing. It's not what I thought I was gonna get though. Oh fuck. Oh my God, that's hilarious. So Ash's was 50 Shades Freed, but I've already read this, so I might get him to redraw when he's home if I don't fit Witches Steeped in Gold. Oh my God, that's brilliant. Yay, well, that's what I want, is because I'm not going through these and checking them and taking them out. So let's clear this off and dive into this month. So as you saw, everything was hunky-dory for August and we're continuing on to check out some more rooms. The one other thing I want to mention before we dive into the rolls for this round is that I'm going to take a very lackadaisical approach to this. Because I struggled with picking and actually cementing my reads, I'm not going to. For some of these prompts, I'm not going to give you a definite here. I will give you the 4 options I would look at using for the Make Me Read Readathon polls. But if I read something off this list that fulfills this prompt prior to the readathon happening, then I won't put the poll up. I will just continue on my merry way and have the prompt fulfilled. So normally I am rigid with picking what books go where, when, and it is sorted. I'm not doing that this month. I'm going to give myself the grace of just sort of mood reading my way through. I have the prompts that I need to read, but I don't have to select the books right now. I found that I was just really struggling, and I'll explain the prompts as they come up, what I'm going to be doing for them. So like I said, for this month I am also doing Wassup. So we will be going back and forth between the two. So just like Pick Pong last month. Roll number 1 is a 3. So yay, need 2 prompts. I've got my little board. I was gonna use Colonel Mustard and then realized taking it off the board and putting it back on was just gonna kill myself. We've got the chance and the community shelf. The doubles will then just add on to whatever thing it is. So for room number 1, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So spring. And for room 1, roll 2. Prompt 2 is a 3. 1, 2, 3. Pattern and text. So we needed 2 prompts, which for Bookopalathon, the first one was spring. You wouldn't think would be that difficult prompt. You have coming of age, you have pastel colors, you have flowers on the cover, you have a green book. Anything like that counts. So I struggled. And I'm going to implement the Make Me Readathon choices and put up the poll if I have not read one of these selections or even another book that fulfills the prompt. As long as it fulfills the prompt, I don't really care. But if I haven't read anything by the 12th, I will put up a poll for the Make Me Readathon to see what gets selected. But the 4 options that I'm thinking of going with are I'm Glad My Mum Died by Jeanette McCurdy. I remembered that this had pastel colors and I was like, oh yes, if I can get this on, but I wasn't sure if I was feeling it or not, and I'm in that tentative space with it. The other one that would be a ebook or audiobook is The Wild Ones by Nafisa Azad. I'm very curious to get to this. It looks absolutely stunning. And then off my own shelves, I have A Chorus Rises by Bethany C. Morrow and Wild Beauty by Anne-Marie McLemore. Both of those are fulfilling particular goals or challenges that I have set out for this year. Then the next prompt was pattern and text on the cover. And this one is the prompt that sent me through a loop. It's not that hard. It's really not that challenging to find a book that has either pattern or predominantly text. But for the life of me, I couldn't make a goddamn decision. I have 4 options again, if I don't pick up one of these prior to the Make Me Readathon. So I've got Aidi by Roxane Gay. This could also work if I decide to read it for the spring prompt instead, because it's a very spring cover. A Lesson in Vengeance by Victoria Lee. Plain Bad Heroines by Emily M. Danforth. Or Girl Serpent Thorn by Melissa Basher-Doust. So these are the 4 options for pattern and text at the moment. But if I find something else, then that can count. Also, I do have a book that I need to read for the Bookstyle read along, which is Times Convert by Deborah Harkness. Does this count as pattern and text on the cover? I'm not sure, because there are it looks like a courtyard in the center of it, but it is predominantly the pattern of clock faces, and then you have the text. So if this counts, I would more than happily use this because it is a mandatory read, but I didn't know if it really fit or not. The alternate cover also does not. It's 2 faces and mechanics and yeah. So does this count or should I go with one of the other 4? Roll number 2 is 2. 1, 2. So I just need 1 prompt that won't be mandatory. Onto our challenge roll. Fuck. So that's doubles. So essentially I think I'm gonna do this the same as Pick Pongathon, and I won't be able to reveal depending on how many doubles that we get. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Favorite setting. Sure, okay, yeah. So I'll do the double rolls at the end. Next up, we ended up outside, so I only needed to do 1 prompt, and for that one we got favorite setting. And I am going with the book that Ash pulled. Technically it was A Conjuring of Light, but I'm going to read A Gathering of Shadows by V.E. Schwab. This is a favorite setting because I really loved London as a setting. I'm very excited to continue on with the Shades of Magic series, so I thought what a better place to start than diving into one of my favorite settings. I also have a feeling that this might take a place at sea. I was originally going to do this for another prompt, but I'll explain why I swapped it out. On to the next roll. Roll number 3 is a 4. 1, 2. So I need another 2 prompts. Into Conservatory, prompt 1 is 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yay! Color wheel! Oh, I love that prompt. And for Conservatory, prompt 2. 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Features a death. All right. Next we ended up in the conservatory, so we needed another 2 prompts, and the first one being a colour wheel. So let's see what that was. So I decided to actually do my colour wheel picker here, and then I will talk through whatever book I decide after. We'll just see how we go. So let's pick a colour. I'm also screen recording it, so if it's not great, I can put it up. Blue. Okay. Actually, I know exactly what I'm going to pick for that. Excellent. As you saw, the colour wheel was blue, so I've decided to put on my buddy read All the Light We Cannot See by Anthony Doerr. This is a historical fiction that I'm going to be buddy reading with Amy from A-Star Reads and Sierra, and I'm nervous to get to this. This was on my These Books Will Self-Destruct, and I'm just not sure how it's going to go. So I thought buzzword of light, buddy read, sounds good. I realized what books were on my TBR that had the buzzword. I sent it to the girls being like, hey, do you want to buddy read this? Because we had mentioned it previously. And Amy was like, yep. Sierra was like, hell yeah. It's on. And I think having a buddy read is going to make it so much more enjoyable because they are both wonderful individuals that are super smart and will actually be able to help guide me through this to enjoy it, because I don't vibe a lot with historical fiction or literary fiction. So here we go. And then the next prompt was Features of Death. I've gone with Queenslayer by Sebastian de Castell. Originally this was going to be A Gathering of Shadows, but it doesn't explicitly say on the synopsis that there is going to be a death. I feel like there will definitely be a death in there given where we're at, and this probably won't have a death, but the back of it says, an innocent mistake sends Kellen to the hangman's noose and his only way out is to agree to murder an 11-year-old queen. Sounds deathly to me. I know that this is not the most dark and gritty, so I would be surprised if a death occurs, but considering that synopsis actually explicitly states that a death of a queen is needed and is going to be a central plot line, I was like, yeah, let's go with this. But if I decide to swap them out, this could also work for fave setting because I love this world, but I love the characters more. So then I was like, yeah, let's swap. On to the next roll. So on to roll number 4. Shit. Alright, 1 is a 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh! Oh! Is a chance. Oh, I'm scared. So we're just gonna take the top one. Oh dear sweet Lord. What does it say? Station 11. Yay! Oh my god, I'm finally getting to it. Fuck yes! Next up, we got a chance, and that was Station 11 by Emily St. John Mandel. I am so excited to get to this. This is a 5-star prediction. I am super behind on my 5-star predictions for this year, but I am so keen. I'm just so excited to dive in. I know that it's following a traveling troupe of Shakespearean actors in a pandemic. So we'll see how it goes. I have read quite a few pandemic books recently and it's been fine. So I'm very curious to see if I love this as much as I think I'm going to, because yes. On to the next roll. On to roll number 5. 1, 2, 3. Alrighty. 4. 1, 2, 3. Oh, fuck me. Yep. No worries. No stress. I'm not stressed. Hi. I wanted to do the entire TBR generation like this as well, so then I know what I'm getting myself into. So I've got 457 books on my TBR. I'm going to generate it 3 times and the last number that it is will be the one that I pick. So here we go. 12, 108, 131. Thank God that's not on Ash's shelves. I was panicking about that. Here we go. 1. Oh. Oh no. Oh dear. Okay, so this is Magician's End by Raymond E. Fires. I can't read this because all the way up here at A Darkness at Seasonathon. So looks like we're going for that. Yep. Okay. That's okay. I mean, at least I'm hitting my goals, right? As you would have seen, I had to randomize my entire TBR. Thankfully, I'd recently updated it, so it was good to go. But, holy lord. And as you would have seen, I got Magician's End by Raymond E. Weiss, but I wanted to finish off the series that I had started with him rather than start something new, in case it is like Robin Hobb where they all work in tandem. And so my next read for Raymond Feist is A Darkness at Seasonathon. I have a sad that I reached out to the girls before I did the randomization, because darkness could be the buzzwordathon. But here we are. I'm very excited to conclude the series. Continuing on with a few series, love to see it. Starting to panic, it's fine. Whilst there's political machinations, it's not in the same way as Game of Thrones, so I enjoy this so much more. On to the next roll. Extra roll for the doubles. 4. 1, 2, 3. TBR bed. Okay, so that concluded all of my Cluedo rooms, but I still needed an extra book as I did roll doubles, and for that I will need to read this book, otherwise I cannot reveal one card from one of the rooms if I were to get to the books as well. So for that, I decided this will be my first Make Me Read poll, and so I've put up a poll for The Adventures of Huckleberry Finn, House of Carls, Things That They Are, or The Tower on the Reef, which is the second half in this binder. And y'all came through. This has now finished, and the book that will be my TBR vet is The Adventures of Huckleberry Finn by Mark Twain. I don't know how I feel about this, like all of these are TBR veterans. I made a video about it a while ago and that was just what I was referencing. I'm very curious as to how this is gonna go. I don't actually know anything about the story considering it's a classic. Something about runaway slave and a young boy, I think. I don't actually know. Curious to see how I get along with this. This TBR is one of the most eclectic messes I've ever seen in my life. That was Cluedo Bookathon. I do also have a few other reads. Like I said, I have Times Convert by Deborah Harkness to finish off the All Souls trilogy with the Bookstar Read Along. I also want to get to Clockwork Prince by Cassandra Clare. I definitely could fit this in for one of the other prompts, so if I choose not to read one of those, then I've got this instead. This is the second in the Infernal Devices. I'm reading them every other month as I read the Mortal Instruments for Bookstar Read Alongs. This is just a side quest and it's not mandatory, but Amy and I seem to be having fun with it and going along, so this is where we're at. And then the only thing that I really neglected from this TBR was my Advent Challenge books, and I've fulfilled the prompts. I have yet to actually, you know, finish the books that people have recommended. So I figured if I could get to either Body of Stars by Laura Mayling Walter or Broken Things by Lauren Oliver, I think that these would be two good picks for this month. I also feel like I could change out prompts and fit these in instead. I just wasn't sure where they'd fit because I don't feel like either of these are spring or pattern text. They probably do feature a death in some way. I don't think they're going to be favourite settings just because it's in our world and it's not London, I don't think. We'll see where I get up to, but I would like to have these on the TBR ready to go, so I am still fulfilling the Advent Challenge. I was like, yeah, that's the one that I'm excelling at. I'm reading them every month, and then it came to actually putting to the physical picks of books on, not the prompts that people gave me, and here we are. So given the number of polls that I have, these are the stack of books I would like to peruse over this month. Ooh, concern. Why do I hurt myself like this? It's not mandatory. Let me know in the comments below what readathons you're participating in. If you're not, then totally cool. What is the book that you are most excited to get to? If you like this video, feel free to give it a big thumbs up. And if you'd like to see more of this mess, feel free to subscribe. And I'll hopefully see you on my next video. Bye!